Can you believe the incredible history behind the Dragon Ball TV series? The famous Japanese anime TV series was produced by Toei Animation and it took the world by storm. If you grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, there's no doubt that you saw an episode of Dragon Ball. It was such a hit show for Cartoon Network during the run of Toonami and also on Funimation. The anime would be such an incredible hit and exploded in popularity into the Western market. The show was such a moneymaker that for some networks, in some locations, it was actually the top rated show. Let's take a deep and powerful dive through the history of the Dragon Ball series. The concept of Dragon Ball was born from the classical 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West, paired with the unique idea of Hong Kong martial arts films. Bringing these two concepts together would develop into Dragon Ball. Before becoming a successful TV series, Dragon Ball began as a manga series and was made up of hundreds of different chapters with various different segments. The original Dragon Ball would be made up of 194 different chapters. This would all be out of the mind of Akira Toriyama and would be published in the Weekly Shonen Jump from 1984 to 1995. The success of this cartoon in this newspaper would lead to more interest from fans and a desire for more. The Dragon Ball series made its debut on February 26, 1986 on Fuji TV. It would have a successful run in Japan of 153 episodes spanning from 1986 to 1989. Each of these episodes would be derived directly from the cartoon that was created by Toriyama. One of the driving forces behind the early success of this anime was control and development. Prior to Dragon Ball, Toriyama worked on an anime called Dr. Slump, which was not very successful. But he and his lead editor, Kazuhiko Toriyashima, took it as a learning. They took the concepts that they wanted from Dragon Ball and built it into a plan. They worked with Shueisha Inc., the publishing company, to determine the best plan of attack. They did extensive planning prior to the first release of the Dragon Ball series. They wrote out an entire master plan or Bible of sorts to highlight the direction of the series, how to merchandise the series, and how they could generate revenue. They wanted to build Dragon Ball into a brand, a successful business. They even discussed with several other popular anime TV shows at the time how to really develop themselves as a unique feature in the market. The Dragon Ball series runs in several installations, with the first being the show Dragon Ball. It was featured around a young boy named Goku with a monkey tail and powers and ability that he wants to prove off his incredible strength. The plot of the show had 5 different sagas within it. In each of these sagas, young Goku is building his strength and his skills in the realm of fighting. He's also surrounded by his good friends that he meets along the journey, including Bulma and Master Roshi. Each of these sagas take Goku and his friends on several different journeys, battling various different villains and characters. This sets the platform for an expanded universe. The success of the first installation would create a unique situation for the Dragon Ball creators. They had such a strong base of fans that wanted more. They wanted to see more of Goku and his friends. They wanted to see character development, and they wanted to see Goku into adulthood. That leads us to the extremely popular show and my personal favorite, Dragon Ball Z, the sequel to Dragon Ball. Like its predecessor Dragon Ball Z would have extreme success, especially in the teenage market. The show would feature the adult version of Goku leading his way through adulthood and defending his planet. This in turn would lead to the development of more successful Dragon Ball shows, including Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super. Overall, the concept they wanted to build out was a show around a hero, a character that would develop throughout the years and defend his planet. In this case, it would be Goku. The purpose of Goku was to create somebody who was the strongest and most powerful being on their planet. They pulled from the traditional martial arts movies during the time period and would develop it into a cartoon. Goku would train to become the best warrior on his planet. Once he completed this goal, he would then have to defend his planet from outsiders. Goku would fight different individuals from various different planets The creators would pull from various different genres to build out this unique world of extraterrestrials. One great example of this in Dragon Ball Z would be that of Frieza. Frieza was seen as the ultimate evil. The concept actually came from the Japanese economic bubble, which was inspired by real-life real estate speculators, which many saw as terrible people, which that was Frieza. Overall, the Dragon Ball series would become one of the most popular in the world. It would sell in over 40 countries as a traditional comic, and then would be shown in over 80 countries as an anime on TV. Over 260 copies of the manga would be sold across the world. Both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z would become such an influence on the Western world and would become one of the most popular works for anime. It would be not just a TV series and a comic. It would also have 3 short films, 3 TV specials, and 2 direct-to-TV movies. The show would also lead to incredible merchandising. Like discussed at the beginning of this video, one of the main goals of successfully developing this anime was to build out a universe that could be marketed and merchandised. Dragon Ball did this in incredible fashion. It would have traditional games, like board games, and it would have card games, but it would also have other merchandise, like figurines, clothing, and other toys. But not only this, they also were represented in the world of video games and has had extreme success, including that of the 2018 Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which has become one of their top-selling Dragon Ball games. The Dragon Ball franchise goes well beyond TV and merchandise. In 2016, Dragon Ball entered the world of theme parks. The attraction Dragon Ball Z, the real 4D, made its debut at Universal Studios Japan in the summer of 2016. It essentially simulated the fight between Goku and Frieza. But more recently, in March of 2024, it was announced that a Dragon Ball theme land and theme park would be coming to Saudi Arabia. This theme park will be part of a larger themed district and entertainment hub focused on Japanese culture within Saudi Arabia. The goal is to have over 30 different rides, hotels, shopping, and restaurants, and the Saudi government is funding it all. Overall, Dragon Ball has become one of the most successful franchises in history, especially for a Japanese franchise coming over to the United States. It's really taken the Western world by storm and has surpassed all expectations. It only struggled one time, in my opinion, with the 2009 film Dragon Ball Evolution. Besides that, the franchise has been unmatched with success. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know in the comments below if you watch Dragon Ball. We appreciate all of you. Believable Truths.